Hello and welcome back to today's edition of Mexico News Network's Breaking News. Now, stay informed 24/7 by following us on social networks on Google+, Facebook, and Twitter. You'll find us as Mexico News Network. And also, don't forget to log on to our website for more information. You'll find us on www.mexiconewsnetwork.com. Now, let's continue with more interesting information. Google announced on Monday that it acquired Timefull Incorporated, a time management startup, for an undisclosed amount. Timefull's iOS app, in fact, uses an algorithm to leverage machine learning, big data, as well as behavioral science to organize users' electronic calendars. Google will then use this technology to improve its machine learning and data processing capabilities in its suite of email and calendar apps. Mountain View, California-based Timefull was founded by Jacob Bank, Joab Shohan, and behavioral economist Dan Ariely. In 2014, the startup raised $7 million in a Series A round from 6 inventors, including Khosla Ventures, Kleiner Perkins, Caulfield, and Byers, as well as Data Collective. According to the company's LinkedIn page, Timefull has 18 employees. According to Google, the Timefull team will be incorporated into the Google Apps group, headed by product executive Clay Baver. In a notice on its website, Timefull said that the app will remain available to download, but the Timefull team's focus will now be on the new project at Google. The startup's technology will be integrated into Google applications, including Gmail, its recently launched inbox email service, Calendar, and Google Docs. The Timefull app integrates with most mainstream calendar platforms such as iCal, Microsoft Exchange, as well as Google Calendar, and schedules a range of activities based on a user's existing schedule and past behavior. Mr. Alex Gawley, Director of Product Management for Gmail, described Timefull as an impressive system that helps you organize your life by understanding your schedule, habits, as well as needs. You can tell Timefull you want to exercise 3 times a week, or that you need to call the bank by next Tuesday, and their system will make sure you get it done based on an understanding of both your schedule and your priorities. He also assured that they are very excited about all the ways Timefull's technology can be in fact applied across products like Inbox, Calendar, and beyond, so they can do more of the work for you and let you focus on being creative, having fun, and spending time with the people you care about. Google acquiring Timefull only makes sense, as the technology will do for Calendar what Inbox is doing for email: prioritize the important and turn down the volume of the unimportant, and it will all adapt to your behaviors as it learns your consumer habits. Now, in more information, the much anticipated Oculus Rift virtual reality headset will be available to consumers in early 2016, according to Oculus VR. The goggles use sophisticated head tracking technology to immerse users in virtual 3D worlds. Gamers have been waiting for them to hit the market ever since the Facebook-owned company's highly successful Kickstarter campaign introduced them in the year 2012. Oculus said in a blog post that you will be able to pre-order the consumer version starting later on this year, 2015, and expect it to ship in the first quarter of 2016. It didn't say how much the headsets would cost, though. Compared to the earlier versions released to developers, Oculus says it will have improved tracking that will work both when the users are standing up as well as sitting down for update ergonomics for a more natural fit. Versions of the headsets for developers were released in the year 2012 as well as 2014, priced each at $350 the very most. Those developers have been creating a range of VR games, apps, and even movies for the Oculus Rift. However, Oculus is targeting the device mainly for gamers. It is a system designed by a team of extremely passionate gamers developers, and engineers to reimagine what gaming can be. The company said, hinting that it will reveal more at the E3 Gaming Expo in June. Oculus ran a hugely successful Kickstarter campaign for a developer kit for its headset, raising $2.4 million, which is almost 10 times its goal of $250,000. Facebook agreed to purchase the company for $2 billion in 2014, causing some controversy among Oculus's Kickstarter backers. The creator of the popular game Minecraft also canceled a deal with Oculus after the Facebook purchase. The Oculus Rift faces a number of competitors. Samsung, which released its Gear VR headset, which uses Oculus software in late 2014. HTC as well as Valve are both expected to release the HTC Vive in November 2015, and Sony says it will start selling its Project Morpheus VR headsets in 2016. Now in other news, Freightliner has been given a license to test out its autonomously driving tractor trail truck in the state of Nevada. The big rig manufacturer already has such a truck in operating and will now begin test driving it on public highways in Nevada. There will always be a licensed truck driver in the driver's seat. However, the Freightliner Inspiration is designed as well as equipped to drive itself on limited access interstates. There are currently 2 of the trucks. A human driver will take full control when the truck's in city and suburban driving situations. Nevada is one of a few states that has legislation specifically allowing for the licensing of self-driving vehicles. The Freightliner truck will stay in its lane and avoid hitting cars ahead with no driver input. Radar sensors as well as cameras will watch lanes and surrounding traffic. Freightliner is owned by Daimler AG, which also makes Mercedes-Benz luxury cars. Mercedes has also been testing self-driving cars. Trucks like this could reduce driver fatigue, according to Freightliner executives, and allow drivers to be more productive. While the truck is going down the highway, the driver could safely attend to paperwork or plan his next trip, for instance. Automated trucks could also save fuel by driving in platoons. Under this scenario, automated trucks communicating with one another electronically could drive in a tightly packed line behind a leading truck. This would then have huge aerodynamic benefits because only the truck in front would have to push through a lot of air. Each following truck would then ride in a sort of bubble created by the truck in front of it. The autonomous driving technology will, at some point, find its place in the trucking industry, said Wolfgang Bernhard, who heads the Daimler's commercial truck operations. Self-driving trucks are coming probably sooner than many people think. In other news, the SpaceX successfully tested its Crew Dragon spacecraft in a flight that lasted less than 2 minutes. It was a very short flight, but it made history. The flight took off from Space Launch Complex 40 at Cape Canaveral Air Force Station in Florida early Wednesday. It didn't have crew members on board though. The test was meant to prove to NASA that the SpaceX crew escape system would work properly if there is an emergency during a flight with people on board. It is all part of the process of certifying SpaceX to become the first private company to carry NASA astronauts to the International Space Station. This is what SpaceX was basically founded for, human spaceflight. Hans Kingsman, Vice President of Mission Assurance with SpaceX, said in a NASA news release. The pad aboard is going to show that they have developed a revolutionary system for the safety of astronauts, and this test is going to show how it works. It is the very first big test on the Crew Dragon though. The test seemed to go very well. A rocket with 8 Super Draco engines lifted the spacecraft about 5,000 feet into the air. The crew module separated from its trunk, which is the part that connects the module to the rocket. Then parachutes opened up and the capsule floated into the Atlantic Ocean off the Cape. Recovery crews will finish the module, form the ocean. SpaceX, the company founded by billionaire Elon Musk, already flies a version of the Dragon to deliver cargo to the space stations. This test capsule was configured to hold people, but only a human-sized test dummy that SpaceX calls Buster was on board, in fact. This is not the last test for SpaceX before NASA clears the company to fly astronauts. A few months from now, SpaceX says that it will put the Crew Dragon through another in-flight abort test from Vandenberg Air Force Base in California. We'll be right back with more information on technology development and science after these few messages.
Audio Jungle.